going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. We got Tuesday college basketball. I think we all would agree that Tuesday is just a little bit behind Saturdays for the best day of the week for college hoops. So excited to go through the slate with you guys today. Of course, just like in all of my videos, I'm going to go over each and every single game with you guys and give you my prediction on the spread. If you're new to my channel, hit that subscribe button, drop a like on today's video. Today's video will have the first whiteboard winning, the official whiteboard winning free pick. You guys saw the absolute unbelievable winning percentage I put together for football season. So hopefully college hoop season, we can kind of do what we did last year and get a bunch of winning picks up there for you guys. So again, I got the first one in today's video of the year. We've kind of made our official transition away from football now that the only thing left is the Super Bowl. And that just doesn't really have too much importance. It's a big standalone game. I'll have some videos out for props and probably same game parlay and some stuff like that just to wrap that up. But college hoops, man, from here on out, this is going to be the main focus of the channel. So hopefully you guys are excited to win a bunch of money. Coming off an interesting Monday, I told you guys specifically in yesterday's video, I just don't like the slate, man. I just thought it was kind of a lackluster Monday. And I do like Mondays. Monday through Wednesday, I really enjoy. I usually take Thursday and Friday off, or I'm just betting it really, really lightly. Of course, I hammer Saturdays. But yeah, yesterday, kind of an ugly day. We took one little tiny wager on Michigan. I thought the spot was good. We did end up losing the pick. It was Michigan in the first half, -4.5. There was a couple points in time where I thought they were going to gain some distance, but just failed to do so against Penn State. I love the spot, man. I thought it was a good spot. Again, a little teeny tiny half wager. That was our only action. We basically took the day off. You guys got to learn a little lesson in itself, man. You don't have to bet every day. You shouldn't bet every day. You shouldn't be forcing bets. You shouldn't be just trying to scratch your itch. Let the games come to you. If there's days where you just like everything, bet everything. Put out 12 wagers. If there's days where you're just like, man, I just don't really love these games, don't bet. No one's forcing you to bet these games. So let the opportunities come to you. There are hundreds and hundreds of college basketball games every single week. There's just no need to force it on bad days. So we pretty much take Monday off. We lose about half a unit. Big deal, dropping a bucket, and looking to attack Tuesday and attack it huge. Of course, if you guys want premium picks, there you go. Link in the description. You can see there on the bottom of the screen, danspicks.net. That is my website. I have it right in the description. Weekly, monthly, doesn't matter. I'll get you on the text list. All the plays will be sent directly to your phone. The plays, the odds, and how many units to put on each one. Like I said on Monday, it was just a little half unit. So make sure you guys are paying attention to how much we're betting on these. Tuesday, it's going to have some real bangers. So I'm excited to throw out just a whole bunch of picks here on Tuesday. Just like last Saturday, man, we hit the Saturday slate hard, 5-2 on the bigger days. So looking to take advantage of Tuesdays and Saturdays all year long. I think that's it. Let's do it. Let's get to the spread. Let me pull up Pickett Sports. Michigan, man, that was pretty pathetic, wasn't it? Where's Pickett? Here it is. Here it is. Michigan stinks, by the way. They might have won the game, but they shouldn't have. They shouldn't have. I'll just leave that there, whatever. All right, St. John's, Georgetown. Guess what? Right off the bat, whiteboard winning free pick. Boom. Here we go. The line looks short. The line looks short. We're going with Georgetown plus the points is our official whiteboard winning free pick. I think the program's been doing pretty good this year. And the line just looks short to me, guys. It just looks short to me. I mean, we can look into it a little bit further. There's a lot of money on Georgetown spread early, but the money splits look good. About half of the bets that have come so far on the spread are on Georgetown, but almost 90% of the money. So the early bets, people who are already attacking this Tuesday slate as I'm recording today's video on Monday night, there's not a lot of action on this game. So the money splits can change drastically. So take this with a grain of salt, but this is just for an example, the type of betting splits you do want to see against the spread. This could be an upset. This could be an upset. I think you could start to make the argument that St. John's, like, okay, they're a good ball club, maybe even the best in the Big East, but are they just starting to overachieve just a little bit? I mean, they got to drop a game at some point. Maybe they do drop this one. Maybe Georgetown wins this one outright, but I expect a good competitive ball game. And at the end of the day, even if this thing is a 6-7 point game down the stretch, it only takes a 3-pointer at the buzzer to cover this number. So Georgetown plus the 4.5. is the official whiteboard winning free pick of Tuesday. First one of the year. Hopefully we can get that done. But we'll move on here. Let me put this back up and we'll keep marching down this slate. Georgetown, man. The line just looks short. It just looks short. It's short. 4.5. I don't know. Looks pretty easy to take that St. John's team. Louisville, Wake Forest here, 7.5 or 8, depending on where you look. Give me Louisville. Look, Wake Forest just had their big game against Duke. And to be honest, I thought they were going to pull it off. I watched just about the whole game. I thought they were going to win it. Looked good in the second half there for quite a while. So it's just kind of a deflating spot, right? You had Duke in town. You had your big spot with North Carolina. Trying to go back-to-back against the big blue bloods in college basketball. Now it's just kind of deflating. Now you got to pack your bags, go on the road, and play a Louisville team that still, despite the winning, I'd argue they're under the radar. I mean, not a lot of people are talking about Louisville. Louisville's exceptional. So I'd go ahead and lay 7.5 with Louisville in that one. Kentucky, Tennessee. See, this is what I'm talking about, man. This is why you just cannot force action on like a bad Monday or a bad Thursday or Friday. Like, you just wait for opportunities to come to you. Here we are, Tuesday slate, and already, I mean, what have we gone over? 3 games? Yeah, and they're all amazing. I mean, these first 3 games I would consider watching, betting on, paying attention to, anything involved with either of these. I mean, just fantastic basketball here on these bigger slates. But to get back to this one, guys, Kentucky and Tennessee, 8.5, 9, that just feels steep, man. Kentucky's talented. Tennessee off a really, really tough game against Auburn. They were right there. Ziegler, I thought he was going to make the shot at the end, comes up a little bit short. So is it kind of a bounce back spot for Tennessee where they're going to look really strong at home? Or is it kind of hard to get up? And I just feel like going out of Auburn, coming from the jungle, and then you're back home against Kentucky. Man, this line just feels a little too rich for me. If it was like 6.5, 5.5, I'd lean Tennessee for sure at home. 9.5, there's a 9.5 on FanDuel. Hopefully the line's not big enough to where this is a trap to take the points, but I would lean Kentucky on this one. Toledo and Ohio, another great game. I'm going to lean Ohio here, though. I'm not going to lay points. I'll gladly go with a -140 money line. You guys got to get out of the habit. And I see all these other YouTube channels, man. The ones that I'll just check periodically just for fun. People talk about like, oh, well, -2.5 is -115. So you save 25 cents by betting that versus the money line, because statistically 99 times, like if they're going to win the game, they're going to cover 2.5. Stop listening to these nerds. Stop it. You got to have winning tickets. What's the point of trying to save money if you're not cashing your tickets? -140 is fine on a money line. If you think the game's going to be competitive, but you like the team at home, like I do in this spot, I'll lay up to 150 on the money line. I'm not laying points, man. I'm not going to get screwed with a last second shot. I like winning bets. I win a lot. You guys see my numbers. Money line at Ohio. If you like Toledo, though, don't money line it. And I see people saying the same thing. You guys got to let me know in the comment section, just on this whole topic, your view versus like always trying to get -110 on your bets versus going with money lines. The same thing when I see people that are interested in a short underdog, like maybe Toledo in this spot, they'll say, oh, screw the 3.5, man. If I'm going to even bet on Toledo, I'll just take them on the money line. It's a nice plus money price. That is so stupid. Take 3.5 points. Like, even if the spread is 1.5, take every point you can get with an underdog, and don't be shy to just simply go with the money line on favorites all the way up to -150, maybe even -160 if you're going to bet big and it's a really, really high profile game. That's just my take on that. And I stand I'll die on that hill. I will die on that hill. South Carolina, Georgia, another pretty good game here. Gut feeling says South Carolina is the right side. Georgia's going to win. I do not know. Georgia is not losing this game. But 8.5? You give me 8.5 on BetMGM? Can South Carolina hang just tough enough? I mean, they really, really struggled to score at times on the road. Kind of is a good spot to bet Georgia. The line just feels a little too big. I thought this would be 5.5 or 6.5. 8.5, I'm going to take it. Providence, Seton Hall, 3.5, 4, depending on where you look. And both these teams are just not very good. I'm going to go ahead and take 4 points with the Hall here. Really don't like it. Maybe just look at the under. Bowling Green, Kent State. Again, man, Kent State, way better team. Definitely going to win the game. I don't see an upset happening here at all. 12.5. I'll take the points. Central Michigan and Buffalo, I'll lay it. Western Michigan and Ball State, I'll lay it. Rice, South Florida, I'll lay it. Akron, Northern Illinois, I will lay it as big as that number is. Bad spot situationally for Northern Illinois. Eastern Michigan and Miami, Ohio. I'll take the points. I'll take the points with the rig team. Southern Indiana, Moorhead State, I'll lay it with Moorhead. UCF, Kansas, interesting game here, UCF and Kansas. So UCF, I bet on premium on Saturday. It was an easy blowout winner, sweat-free start to finish. It was a great spot. TCU off that Kansas loss, super deflated. They had the upset win against Baylor, and then they're going to go on the road to UCF. That was a great spot. We should have put more on that than just our standard 1.1 units. But Kansas, man, what do we do with Kansas? Because they're off a double overtime loss to Houston. Again, we bet Houston on Saturday. That was our max play. It was a double wager. We put 2.3 units on it. I think it was 2 point something. Kansas, man. I know Bill Self. I know he's going to have these guys playing hard. But at the end of the day, you're coming off a crazy letdown off that double overtime loss. And Kansas is just not a good basketball team. Look, the energy was electric. It was Saturday evening at the Fog. The place was on fire. I wasn't stunned that they played pretty competitive versus Houston. But Griffin, some of the other guys on the team, even Harris, like the three-pointers were falling for Kansas against Houston. Houston struggled big time on their offensive end. They couldn't make any free throws. They had a really, really tough day with free throws. And Roberts, man, on a lot of those close shots, he was missing them. I mean, until the end, until he turned it on, Roberts was having a tough game as well. There were some injuries in the first half that kind of slowed down Houston. I thought Houston would win over Kansas much, much easier. I thought Kansas played like an A- game, like one of their better games of the year. Still came up short. I know Bill Self's going to rally the troops. But UCF has a little momentum. They're feeling pretty good off of their TCU blowout win. 13.5. It's so hard to go against Kansas after the meltdowns that happened in those overtime periods. Because again, I hate to just spend so much time on a game like this and ramble, but Bill Self's going to have them ready, but they're just not good enough. I got to take the points. Give me 13.5 with UCF. Kansas wins by 7. Minnesota, Michigan State. We got to go Sparty here, don't we? Is Minnesota going to win again in upset fashion? I mean, what they beat Michigan. Michigan stinks, so I'm not putting too much stock into that. I think Michigan's wildly overrated. I mean, crazy land overrated. But they got by that. They had another upset, I believe. Was it Nebraska? I don't know. Someone else. And then it was Oregon. So Minnesota is off 3 like crazy upsets. Now you got to go to Sparty. I think Minnesota's done enough to where Sparty is going to take them seriously. Like if Minnesota hadn't won all these upsets, like if they were, yet to like go on this little run that they're on, then they could maybe sneak up in a sleepy spot for Michigan State where Michigan State doesn't really take them serious and Minnesota has a good game and they lose in heartbreak fashion by like 3 points or something and covered the spread. I think Minnesota's won enough games where Izzo's going to have this team playing seriously. But the travel scares me a little. I mean, Michigan State coming back from the Garden on Saturday. A little bit of contradiction here. I'm going to lay the points with Sparty, though. I think Minnesota comes back down to earth. I think this is a blowout. VCU, St. Louis. Give me St. Louis. You're going to give me 5.5 here. I'll take it. Dayton and the Bonnies. I'm going Bonnies, man. I'm going Bonnies. I think the Bonnies get this one outright. But like I always say, take what you can get. You're going to give me a bucket and a hook? Sure, I'll take 2.5. Southern Illinois and Valpo. No idea. That's a coin flip. Marquette and Butler. I mean, Marquette's not really great laying a lot of points. I know a lot of you will say, oh, it's only 7.5. It's not a lot. I mean, road game in the Big East. 7.5, 8. Is this one of the big games that Butler gets? Is this an upset? I could actually see it. I'm taking 8 points with Butler. They probably get their heart broken and lose by 4. Fresno, Wyoming. Fresno is really bad. So is Wyoming. I mean, both of these teams I want to bet as like big underdogs getting points. I don't really want to lay points with a team like Wyoming. but I'll do it. I'll lay 7.5. Oklahoma, Texas A&M, 8 or 8.5, depending on where you look right now. Huh. Interesting. Situationally, this is a 10 out of 10 spot for Texas A&M. They're coming off the loss to Texas. Really tough loss. Crazy ending to that game. I watched every minute of it. Oklahoma coming off a win over Arkansas. So, yeah, Oklahoma off a win. Oklahoma stinks overall, though. Texas A&M off a tough loss to the rival. Wade Taylor, a pretty healthy Texas A&M team at home versus the Sooners, 9 p.m. game. I'll lay anything in the single digits with Texas A&M. They should be able to cover that number. Georgia Tech, Notre Dame. Tough one. Notre Dame wins. Do they win by margin? Not quite. I mean, I feel like there's like a 5-6 point win for the Irish. I guess I'll take 8.5 for Georgia Tech. North Carolina and Pitt, equal teams. They both are pretty bad. Bottom third of the conference. Yeah, I'll take 4.5 with North Carolina. It's a close game. I bet North Carolina does win it, though. Pitt's got serious problems. Their shot selection, their fundamentals, team chemistry, it's bad. I'll take, you're going to give me 4.5 with North Carolina? Yeah, give me the points. Arizona State, Colorado. Money line it. Give me Colorado here, minus 125. I know Arizona State's, they've been playing pretty good ball, really, ever since the upset in Morgantown. They've been playing pretty good ball, but I just think this is one where Colorado's they got to get one, right? They got to get at least one more win. I think they're going to get that one. I'll go money line with the Buffs. Baylor, BYU. I'll lay 3.5 with BYU. Baylor got a nice win over Utah. I was a little bit surprised because Baylor in that game versus, man, who did they struggle with? It was Kansas State. They played Kansas State at home, I believe, and pulled the win out, but they didn't look right. They didn't look good to me. I'm going to go with BYU in the spot. I'll lay 3.5. Air Force, Colorado State, lay it. Cincinnati and Utah. Tempted to go with Cincy here. I think they're the right team. This is the right matchup for Cincy to get a road win. You don't have to lay points, which I hate with the Bearcats. If you're going to give me 1.5 points, I'll go 1.5 points. Give me Cincy. Jose State. Oh my God. San Jose State. San Diego State. I'd probably look at the over 134.5, but maybe the Aztecs defense actually shows up a little bit here, and they should be able to score no problem. It's a huge number, but I think it's big for a reason. I'll lay the points. And then we got Oregon State, Gonzaga. I mean, when is Gonzaga going to turn it on? They're coming off a nice win, but against lesser competition. This is at least a little bit more of a game. 13.5 is reasonable. I think Gonzaga might go on a nice little ATS run here and just start to play better ball down the stretch here. Give me Gonzaga. I'll lay 13.5. Yeah, I like that one as well. But guys, it's Tuesday. I've been hitting these big slates good. Like I said, we basically took Monday off. I didn't bet any college basketball on Sunday. I didn't bet any college basketball last Thursday or Friday, but I went 5-2 on Saturday on the big slate. I'm again going to fire up probably 8, 7, 8, 9. I don't know. I'm going to have a bunch of picks out on Tuesday. I like some first half angles a lot. I like, I like what I actually have them written down. I guess I could just read them to you right now. Just read you all my premium picks. I guess we just go down the list, right? Give you all the premium picks for a Tuesday. No, you got to get that on the website. Link to the website in the description. Let me know your favorite picks in the comment section below. See you next video.